Diversity Role Models is a charity that was set up in 2011, so it's been running for just over 2 years now, and we set up for two reasons mainly. Initially I was teaching in schools throughout London with some quite difficult young people, and I was openly gay with most of those young people and didn't have an issue at all. They would ask me questions, I would answer them, and gained their respect that way, and through doing that they realised that their use of language, some of the things they were saying about their peers were also offensive to me, and they stopped doing it. I was watching all of that happen, realising that I was one of the few out teachers, so inadvertently a role model. And also that I then read the story of Dominic Crouch, who committed suicide in 2010, and realised that his suicide was linked to homophobic bullying, and just realising that why should somebody be having such a difficult time as a teenager when I haven't had a difficult life at all, because of who I might love. It doesn't make any difference. So why should young people be going through this? And his was not the only suicide I read about, there were many. So realising that we needed to do something as adults, as teachers, as parents, as a society, to make sure that our young people are not taking their own lives just simply because of who they might fall in love with. Teachers are absolutely pivotal to what we do, because once we get a chance to speak to them and explain the impact of not doing this, they get it. However, they're under a lot of pressure to deliver so much, and this is a specialist topic, so it makes sense that they outsource it to people like us. We had a transgender role model, and when he said I was born a girl, that we had a student that spontaneously started clapping. He didn't even realise he did it. He was like, oh, stop, because he was so impressed that, you know, the honesty is what gets them. They feel honoured, I think, that people are standing up, adults are standing up and telling their stories, and we're trusting them to listen and to treat it respectfully. I've been very lucky in my life and had a really fantastic life, amazing parents, grew up in a beautiful country, so I feel I have a responsibility to give something back. And I guess a lot of our role models do as well. And some of them have been through very difficult times. Hasn't been plain sailing for them, but they don't want that to happen to someone else. None of us do. So there's something that creates happiness when you're giving back. And I think that's really key to what drives most of our volunteers and staff, actually. So somebody comes in from one of our partner organisations, say RBS, and they role model in a school and they go back to their work inspired by what they've done, and this then reflects really well on their customer base. They learn about what that organisation is doing and who they're supporting, and it looks fantastic for them, the employee engagement aspect of it. We've taken a lot of senior women, for example, and that challenges young people's views. Not in a way we expected it to, it wasn't our intention, but we see young men who come from cultures where women in leadership don't exist, and actually young girls who are seeing women in leadership roles that they're not used to either. So it raises aspirations in a way for boys and for girls, and it also increases respect. The sexual orientation, gender identity aside, there's a whole raft of things that it achieves in terms of helping young people to understand that nothing should hold you back in life. Your gender, your sexual orientation, disability. We've got a role model who's in a wheelchair that comes into school, and the young people are really interested in that. It shouldn't matter. None of these things matter, and they're all stereotypes, and they restrict you only in your head. In reality, they don't. And so across the board, we're having a ripple effect that we probably didn't expect to when we set out. I think the thing I'm waiting for most is that I'm waiting for the day we receive a letter from a young person who says, you know, 5 years ago, I was really struggling with what was going on in my life, and 3 of you came in and talked to my class about that, and I didn't say a word because I was petrified, but that changed my life that day, and you gave me hope.